Hey everyone, welcome back. I am your host, Dr. Steve, and this is Know Your Rights. And today we're talking about three different auditors. One is by the name of Todd, the other is the name of Philip, who we're covering right now in the first segment that we're going to continue on in a second. And the other one is David from News Now Houston that we'll get to later. But I want to go back to this video because, again, here is an officer trying to obtain identification that he has no legal authority to do. He's threatened to charge them with criminal trespass, even though I've heard Todd say very clearly that, okay, I'll leave, which should be the end of the interaction at that particular point in time. But here this police officer is going to continue on.
Okay, when you're on their property and they're...
This is not Academy's property.
It doesn't matter.
We're on a public sidewalk.
No, actually, it's not a public sidewalk. This is...
It's open to the public. It's open to the public.
Okay, that's nice. It's also part of their property. It's not private because it's not blocked off. You are...
It's open to the public.
Yes, so it's not private property.
Now, think about this for a second, folks. He's now just changed his story within a matter of a minute and a half. First, I'm going to criminally trespass you from private property. Now, since he's not getting his way and he knows he can't do a damn thing about it, okay, now what does he do? Oh, well, now you're on public property. So he's changed his story. Now, let's see if he's going to try to trespass him from public property, which will not surprise me here.
So it's public property. It's a public walkway. It's a public area. It's not private property as you're trying to complain, or you're trying to say.
Oh, so you just said it's public property. That's what you just said.
Area.
That's exactly. We're anybody else in this area? Two guys just walked by, Sam.
Yeah, and they're walking through. They're not standing here.
We're walking through until you stopped us.
No, actually, you were standing here because I saw you when I turned onto the property over here from the public roadway.
So is there an ordinance or a law that you're enforcing right now besides criminal trespass? Because you can't criminal trespass on public property.
Oh, really? You can't?
No,
Okay.
This is public. You just said it was public property.
Think about this, okay? Look at the dumbfounded look on the guy's face. Well, you can't trespass us from public property. Oh, I can't. You're the police officer. You should know this. Let's continue on.
I suppose private because, I mean, then you might have a legitimate chance of trying to trespass us if you would receive ownership or academy actually complaints about you. We're just out here taking pictures. That's all we're doing.
What are you taking pictures of?
Out here in public view. We're taking pictures of the NSA.
And what is the reason for that?
We don't really need to have a reason. It's out here.
I'm just asking you for a reason. I didn't say you needed a reason. I'm asking you what your reason for that is.
Oh,
because nobody just comes out to NSA to take pictures of it.
Well, I mean, well, you're speaking in general, though, but, you know, we're just not everyday citizens.
Well,
like,
then,
you do
that
have
means you do have a reason.
What's that?
That means you do have a reason, then, if you're not an everyday citizen out here taking a picture of it.
Well, I'm a citizen journalist. I'll give that much information. I'm a citizen journalist.
Okay.
Gathering content for a story.
That's all I'm asking.
We're both journalists gathering content for a story.
You're a journalist also?
We're both journalists
Well, I'm
gathering
asking
content.
you specifically. He said he was a journalist.
I'm a journalist gathering content for a story.
Okay. And what story is that?
You'll see when it comes out.
Where is it going to come out in?
I guess you'll have to search around on the internet for it.
Yeah, what story are you writing it for?
Are we being detained right now?
I'm asking you a general question.
I'm asking you
So is this a consensual conversation?
being detained?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you.
Now, folks, that actually wasn't so bad, really. And I want everybody to understand something. There's nothing wrong with a police officer to come up and do a short investigation and ask what's going on. They have every right to do that. I know that some people have stated that they should have just left them alone. Listen, police officers can come up and talk to you. Whether you respond to them or not respond is your choice. But they have every right to come up and ask you. They can ask you for identification. You don't have to give it to them. But they have every right to ask you. So I just want to kind of keep this into perspective that this is not against police officers in general. This is about upholding the law. This is about your rights as a citizen to be able to travel down a public sidewalk, take pictures of what you can see in public, which is your constitutionally protected right to do so under the First Amendment, and do this unmolested. You should have the freedom to travel and take pictures if you wish to do so. Now, when I get to David's video, it's an absolute fail. And I'm going to try to get with David to see where this has transpired. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag too soon here. But this actually wasn't so terrible of an audit. You know, the police officer did come out a little aggressive at first. That did make me angry. He should have been more courteous. You know, hello, sir, how are you? Would you mind if I speak to you for a minute? That would have been the proper way to do this instead of, you know, come over here. You know, come sit down on the curb here to wash my car. You know, like he has some type of ownership over the citizens. You folks have to keep in mind, these guys work for us. Now, I caught a whole lot of crap from people in the show that I did last week. People calling me anti-cop. I'm just trying to cause more problems for police officers. No, that is not my intention in any way, shape, or form. I am not anti-cop. I'm anti-bad cop because I'm still a firm believer that bad cops put good cops in harm's way. Some people were saying, you know, well, police officers already have a tough job. Let me just clear this up right now. When they signed up at the police academy to become a police officer, they didn't think they were going to be planting rose gardens. They didn't think they were going to be protecting rose gardens or corn crops or lima beans. They knew when they signed up to take this job that they were going to be facing at some point in their career, most likely, criminals and violence and danger. They signed up for it the same way that we sign up when we join the military. Do you think people join the military not knowing that there's a possibility that they're going to go to war and they could die? So I'm sick and tired of hearing the nonsense that, well, you know, they already have a hard enough job. They knew that going in. That doesn't excuse the fact that they took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. Their job is to protect the citizens. Their job is not to just look for any reason to arrest somebody. Their job should be to de-escalate a situation, try to sort it out, resolve the problem until it comes to a time that something can't be resolved or somebody's committed a crime. Now, listen, I'm all for if somebody's committing a crime, arrest them. I'm all for that. But not when people are just taking pictures out in public on a public sidewalk. Leave these people alone. It's unnecessary and it's uncalled for. I'm going to play another 10 seconds here. I don't know what the result is, but I'd like to hear what these guys have to say.
Stay here.
Are y'all okay?
Yeah, we're all right for now. Yeah, we're good for now.
Can I help you?
Use a cup of coffee.
Oh, Todd, you're killing me. Use a cup of coffee. Oh, that's epic. So anyway, we're going to be coming up on the next break here in a minute. And I want everybody to understand why this is so important. Because in the next segment, I'm actually going to talk about the Bundy family in Oregon and how the Bureau of Land Management literally tried to take their livestock and their land based on lies. There is a bombshell of a story that I'm going to tell in this show and why I support these guys doing what they're doing, standing up on their rights. Because when I tell you what happens in the next segment, I guarantee you're going to be pissed off. So when we come back, we're going to talk about the Bundys, and we're definitely going to talk about some more of the Second Amendment stuff and why it's so important to hold these officials accountable for what they're doing, because when rogue agents go rogue, we're in trouble, folks. Believe that. We'll be back in a few minutes. I'm your host, Dr. Steve, and this is Know Your Rights.